Cut it now. He cultura, he cultura, he cultura, he cultura, he cultura, he cultura. However you say it, that's how you say it. Now and forever. I don't make the rules. I just make the rules. I am Studio Mogura, Studio M-O-G-U-R-A. Hit me up at the PayPal. Hit me up at the CashApp. Buy my book, Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon and available on Barnes & Noble. Chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s and basically a bunch of my adventures getting fucked up and hanging out with my friends. Please check it out. Also check out my octotaco.com, which is my blog and also my own personal comic shop. And check out my TeePublic site so you can buy my t-shirt designs. And also listen to my Spotify playlist, which is the last QR code. So you can listen to my discography from 1999 up until this year with my latest release, The Reflection Blinds You from Seeing the Truth. Okay? We are doing things a little different now. We're doing this show is sound only because I completely forgot. Sorry. I forgot about the Brooklyn game, and then I tuned in like, mid-second quarter or some shit like that. And as soon as I don't remember when it was, but whenever I saw that the Heat had a lead. And right there and then, I knew the Heat were going to lose that game. I knew they were going to lose the game the moment that I saw that they were leading. I knew it was done. And I was like, oh, they're leading this early? Oh, this is a game they lose. They're losing this game. And what happened? They lost the game. This team is predictable. You should not be surprised by any of this shit that you're seeing. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be wasting your breath and wasting your time saying, oh, this team's not good, this team is this, they need to make moves, they need players, they don't have anybody, blah, 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 blah. That's not true. They have players, they have people. This team is a process. That's what you fail to fucking understand, and you have since literally, God, for sure since the Big Three. You fail to understand that it's a process. You don't just wake up and all of a sudden you're there in the finals. You guys look at like the Celtics and you look at the top teams and you want to be them so bad. You want to be like a team that you go in and you put up 153 points against a shitty other team. You want to be that. You want to be that so bad. And then at the same time, you don't want to see that those people that you want to be so bad were beating when it matters. So essentially, like, you guys just want to be kings of the regular season. Like, you really don't care about the postseason. You don't care about winning a championship with this team. You just care about, being number one, number two in the league. You just care about SportsCenter talking about you all the time. And you just care about having a player that is considered, oh, he's going to be the next LeBron. That the media, you want to get crowned by the media so bad that you're not fucking looking at the big picture. You're not looking at how this team operates. You're not looking how we are, who we are. We never come out and are 7-0. The last time we led the league and the last time we were the number one seed, we lost. And these guys learned, what good is it to waste all that energy to be the number one seed during the regular season that doesn't fucking ultimately matter if we can still get in at any fucking ranking and win. If we feel and we know that we're better than all these people, what does it matter? And they're right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So why the fuck are we worrying about this shit? Let these guys play. Let them figure it out. Yeah, we're probably gonna only win like 2 games this month. But I fully believe that once this team figures it out and once Spo is done with his first fucking wave of mad scientist bullshit and he finds his first lineup, we're gonna win some games. We're gonna eventually get back to 500. We're not a fucking like the worst team in the league. Are you kidding me? You really think that we're the worst team in the league because we're 1-4 right now, 1-5? No, we're not. We're not. This team hasn't even woken up yet. This team is still asleep. It's not even that we're asleep, man. It's that this team is still just trying to figure it out. They have pieces, and every single season, this team has to figure it out. Every single season, it's just a fucking whirlwind of lineup changes. You know that Spo loves his veterans. Spo trusts the veterans more than he trusts a young guy. The only reason he trusts Tyler Hero is because Tyler Hero showed up his rookie season. And he doesn't have a choice, but he has to put him in there. Look how long it took for Tyler to start. Tyler should not have been riding the bench his rookie season. You know why people don't compare Tyler Hero to fucking this guy out in fucking Phoenix? Because this guy out in Phoenix was starting as a rookie. While Tyler Hero, who could have started as a rookie, he had enough firepower to start as a rookie. They didn't want him to start as a rookie. Oh, because in Miami, it's all about the defense. If you can't play defense, well, then you can't start here. But no one ever thought of well, what if you just had really good offense and that was your defense? This team has enough. Okay? You just gotta ride this out, bro. We gotta fucking figure out what this lineup is gonna be. And we kind of already know. And most of this shit is really just gonna be Spo having to fucking learn how to let go of motherfuckers. Yeah, Kevin Love, goodbye, bro. I appreciate everything you've done for the Heat. I'm sure you're gonna ride along with us, maybe. But if we can put you in a trade package, goodbye. Kevin Love, if Kevin Love is gonna fucking be on this team, he can't start. He can't finish a game. You kidding me? You're gonna finish a fucking game with Kevin Love? Kevin Love only finishes the game if he's putting up 35. If he's killing it, that's when you let him ride. You ride it out with Kevin Love. Other than that, you sit his ass. Kyle Lowry cannot be finishing games anymore, bro. He's just not good enough to finish games, man. He's good enough to give you a couple minutes during the game. He's good enough to give you a couple moments, but he's not good enough to fucking have out there the whole fourth quarter. Are you kidding me? And those are two simple things that Spo could easily change, man, and just put in Jovic. Jovic is great, man. That guy needs to start. We just saw Haywood Highsmith for the first fucking time, bro, and that's a guy that, this guy said on the Levitard show, people are gonna, by the midseason, they're gonna be like, where did he find this guy? Haywood Highsmith has been on this team for already 3 years. This is the first time that guy made the court, you knew that guy was gonna be an impact player. That's why I was totally okay with getting rid of fucking PJ Tucker. You could have who gives a fuck about PJ Tucker? You had Haywood Highsmith, who was just as dog as PJ Tucker, and you know what he didn't do? He doesn't give you the stupid fouls that PJ Tucker does. He doesn't give you the stupid technicals that PJ Tucker does. He keeps his fucking shit together, yet he still gives you incredible fucking defense, and he's got a 3 in his pocket. Bro, I'm telling you right now, we all know Swider is the guy that's gonna replace fucking what's his fucking guy's name? I already forgot his fucking name. I already forgot Strus. Swider is the one to replace Strus. We know it already. We saw it in the preseason, man. The motherfucker has a fucking nickname that's the Amazing Swider Man. What are we doing here? You start guys with nicknames, bro. If you got a nickname like that, start the fucking guy. Play the fucking guy. Not even start him. Just play him. Put him in the backup lineup. Why isn't he fucking seeing any minutes? He lights it up. There are guys on this roster that can play. The biggest problem on this team, like it is every year, is having to wait for Spo to realize it. Having to wait for Spo to just get to a point with his veterans that he's so absolutely frustrated with them, and everybody hates him to a point where he's got no choice. That's what happened with Max Strus. He was starting fucking Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson wasn't doing shit. Wasn't doing nothing. Duncan Robinson wasn't giving us anything. And then Jimmy Butler got pissed off because Jimmy's friends with Max Strus. And Jimmy got pissed off and tired of that shit, bro. And that's why he got up in fucking Spo's face and they fought. Because Jimmy Butler was telling him, you keep going to fucking this guy. That sucks, bro. Play the fucking guys that are good. So what does Spo do after that? He starts Max Strus, and then we start winning games. During that season, during that span, Max Strus was undefeated, bro. He was 13-0 or some shit for some period. Come on. That didn't happen because Spo was like, oh, I know who I need to play. No, man. Spo had to fucking, like, fall off flat on his face like 8 million times before he realizes that shit. We're gonna have to go through that shit again, man. Because, yeah, he's already turning to lean onto the fucking stupid veterans at the end of games rather than just ride the fucking guys. Look how he rode the fucking young team, right? The other night against the Bucks. And that's what we want to see. We want to see him ride these guys and see if these guys can do it right now. Because we can lose games right now. So let's see if these young guys can do it. Sure, they didn't do it, but that's not as bad as a loss as the Brooklyn one. You know? Even though I look at the Bucks and I'm like, you did a great job riding those young guys, but you kind of left them out to dry. Because you should have, with 3 minutes left, you should have put Jimmy back in it. Once they got it down to 6, you should have put Jimmy in the fucking game. You should have sat stupid Josh Richardson. Okay, I'm already telling you, bro. This is gonna be our biggest problem right now. Is waiting. How long is it gonna take for Spo to realize that Josh Richardson is bad? Because we all know Josh Richardson is bad. Because Josh Richardson is bad. He's not a good player. His defense doesn't make up for anything. Like, he doesn't do enough. And he gets put out there to bring some offense, and he never brings any offense. That guy makes 1-3 fucking every 5 or 6 games, bro. We can't have that. You know, he goes in there, and he's kind of not really in it. You know? He's in it, but he's not, and he's in it, and he's not. Can't have that. He had his moment where he was doing really good, and you had to kind of ride him. But I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to tell you, I feel like Josh Richardson really didn't have much to do with us doing that comeback. You know, as much as, like, Hero did. You know, as much as, like, other guys did. Like, I more saw during that comeback, I saw Lowry, and I saw Josh Richardson just, like, out there. I mean, I also want to say Lowry was out there at the same time, but I don't think he was. I think he was sitting too. Because it was Jaquez, Lowry, it was all the young guys, you know? And then you left the young guys out to dry. And you shouldn't have done that. You should have seen, 6 minutes left. All right, let's get the starters in there. Let's try and win this game. And you didn't do that. You did, let's ride this guy to see what he can do. And I totally appreciate that. And I'm okay with that. But it didn't work out. So now you put yourself in a position where you have to win a game. Just to keep the morale in this place and keep people off your back. And you go to Brooklyn and you've got a huge lead on them. And that's how I know that this team it's not that it's lacking talent, or it's not that it's lacking more players. It's lacking discipline right now. This team is lacking discipline. Like, Spo is content with letting them fucking just be who they are right now. He's content with that shit. Otherwise, we wouldn't be losing these games, man. And we wouldn't be losing these games in the way that they're losing. Like, if you see that this team goes up 15, you can pretty much guarantee that we're probably going to lose that game. That is part of the Heat MO. The Heat modus operandi. We have talked about this previously before in previous Heat Culturas. The Heat MO. Playing down to their competition, letting big leads get away from them. And while the letting big leads isn't like really a Heat MO anymore, because it's everybody's MO, that happens to every fucking team, bro. You know, the teams that it doesn't happen to is teams that, like, respond with a 3-point shot, you know, to break the fucking run. And we don't have that. We've never had that. We've never had a guy who can come in and just be like, every time that we do stop people's runs in their tracks, it's like a surprise to us or some shit. And it shouldn't be like that. But this team plays so much at the basket that more often than not, they're missing gimmies. Jimmy misses so many gimmies. Like, this team misses a lot of little bunny shots that, like, they should have had, and that ultimately lead to runs for the other team. It's things like that. And that to me is just discipline. That to me is just focus. That to me is caring a little bit more. And not just expecting for the win to come to you and fall in your laps because you're up 19 in the second quarter or some shit like that. Like, I have learned, if a team is up at halftime, they're probably going to lose that game. Because the other team's going to come out and really try and make a run and hit them with threes, and the team that was up is going to be flat after fucking halftime. I'm at a point where if I see the Heat down at halftime, I have more confidence that they're going to win the game than when I see them that they're up big. Like, I don't like to see this Heat team up big. I like to see this Heat team either like right there or just trailing by a little bit the whole game, so that when you get into the fourth, they can just steal it. That's how this team plays. This team plays like that. We steal wins. We don't outright blow people out of the water. And I'm just so sick and tired of fans and everybody in Miami and people in the laboratory show and all that stuff like that just being like, we've got to blow people out of the water. This team is never going to blow anybody out of the water, bro. Even if we had Jason Tatum on this team, we had Steph Curry on this team, if we had LeBron on this team, if we had a fucking reincarnated, like, young version of Wade, bro, on this team, we still wouldn't blow people out of the water. We would still, like, be down by 5 going into the fourth. It's just how we are. So I just need people to look and take the step back. And you know what? Don't panic until we're one. Start panicking when we're like 1-15. If this team gets to like 1-10, maybe 1-15, then you're like, okay, we got a problem here. But I can't imagine this team's gonna go 1-10. Do you think this team's gonna only have one win after fucking 20 games and shit? If we're like that, then yeah, we got a problem here. But I don't think we're gonna. We're not that bad. We're not that off. We're just fucking not focusing, man. It's obvious, dude. I think we have a lead like that, you can finish them off with the defense that this team has. That's the whole dream of like the Jets, man. The Jets is like, the whole thing is like, the Jets just gotta get a lead. It doesn't matter if it's a lead by 3 or a lead by 7. The game could literally be 7-0. But if the Jets have the lead, they have a good enough defense that they can keep the lead in the second half. And they can shut out teams in the second half. Which essentially is what this team has to do. If you've got a fucking 19-point fucking lead, bro, shut the other team off in the second half. Why is that so fucking hard? It's crazy to me, bro. That's why sometimes the game feels manufactured. The game feels like it's pre-written, because it's like, how are you letting this team come back from nothing? You shouldn't. How are you missing every single bunny shot? How are you missing every single fucking 3? How can you not make a 3 to save your goddamn fucking life? And bro, I love Robinson. I really like how he's been coming out. He's come out more aggressive this season. We need more though. He can't be missing fucking wide open threes, man. That guy misses so many wide open threes, bro. It's just 4 years of this shit, man. Of missing fucking wide open threes and fucking constantly complaining that this fucking guy misses wide open threes. How long are we gonna go with this? We're gonna ride this again all year? Okay, well, we're gonna ride it again all year, I guess. It's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. Do we really want to do that? No. Tonight's there's another game. I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know who they're playing. Does it fucking matter? Who gives a shit? Who gives a goddamn? I think it's the Washington Wizards or some shit like that. Who cares? Who cares who they're fucking playing? Right? Aren't we already at that point where we're like, I don't give a fuck who they're playing. They better win. So who gives a fuck who they're playing? They better win. And I'm like, I'm personally like, I don't care. I just want them to kind of go out there, play a decent game, put some young guys out there. Let's see the young guys. Let's see how they do. If we get a win, we get a win, great. But I really am just trying to see what the fuck we have. Our lineup right now for sure is Bam, Jimmy, and Butler. Bam, Jimmy, and fucking Hero. Those 3 guys have to start. Who are the other 2 guys that are going to start around these guys and are going to finish games? Okay, we're talking about who starts the games and who finishes the games. Hero, Bam, and Butler have to finish games. Butler has to wake the fuck up. I don't know what, I'm giving Jimmy a lot of rope, man, because Jimmy expends so much energy, and when he's on, there's no stopping him. So, frankly, I don't give a fuck if he's not into it right now, if he doesn't care right now. I don't know. But I just feel bad for him because he's gonna cop a lot of fucking heat, and if he keeps on like this, they're gonna start talking like he's a problem and he's like not doing enough and he's this and he's that. He's a distraction. Look how he comes in with the hair and he tries to be funny, but all that leads to nothing. None of that shit is funny if, like, you're not winning. They're gonna come with that shit soon if they haven't already. And I feel that's unwarranted, bro. I mean, like, right now, Jimmy got you to the finals like single fucking handedly, bro. That motherfucker can take the next 2 months off. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't care. Jimmy can show up after the goddamn All-Star break, bro. I'd rather him show up. I don't want him expending any kind of fucking energy right now. I want that man to make sure when we start to make the real push for the playoffs, I want him to be healthy. I want him to be healthy and going into the playoffs like healthy like he was last year. The only reason we got that far is because that motherfucker was healthy. We just gotta get in healthy, guys. That's all it is. There goes the cat. Dropping shit, messing everything up. That's it. That's all we need, man. That's all we care about. Getting to the end healthy. Not being the number one team in the East. Being the number one team in the East is irrelevant, man. None of that shit matters. Forget that shit. We don't want to be number one. We want to be number 8. We want to be number 8, and we want to go against the number 1. It's the same goddamn game, practically. Doesn't matter. Who's it going to be, Milwaukee? We wiped the floor with them in the first round. What, they got Damian Lillard? No big deal, bro. Do you fear Damian Lillard? Really? You fear Damian Lillard in that team? You saw, you just played him. You've seen, Damian Lillard just lost to Atlanta. Do you fear Atlanta? We go to Atlanta right now, 7-game series. Who's going to win that series? Do you think it's going to be the Heat or it's going to be Atlanta? Right now. You're really going to say Atlanta? No, you're not. You're not. You know that he's going to come out of that. And Atlanta just beat Milwaukee. What do you, I don't know what to tell you, man. There's no reason to film Milwaukee. I don't give a fuck if they're walking in there with a nuclear bomb. It don't matter. They could walk in there with Jesus himself. It don't matter. They could walk in there with a fucking black hole. Like a giant black hole. That sucks out light. That sucks light itself. The existence of humanity in reality. And it won't matter. I'm done talking about these single wins. I want to see series, bro. Right now, I know it's early. It's too early, bro. You're talking about you need a 20 fucking game sample size to really understand, okay, where is this team at now? You don't need 5 games. 10 games isn't even enough for this team sometimes. It's like 20 games. If Boston can win 20 fucking in a row or some shit like that, or win enough fucking games that they have 20 plus fucking, we can do the same. We don't care, bro. We're not trying to compete with those fuckers, man. We don't care about rank. We don't care about that. We just want to make sure we've got a shot at the end to either be in the playoffs or to get in the playoffs. That's it. That's it. These motherfucking guys are gonna probably pull the same goddamn run they did last year, and you're gonna be shocked to shit when they do it. You're gonna be like, "How the? You kidding me? 8 seed again? Play-in tournament, a play-in game again? All to the end, 7 games again, all the way to the fucking finals, beating everybody along their way again." I swear, I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen again. And if it doesn't, well, you know what? It doesn't. What then? Oh my god, it was wrong. Who gives a shit? But I'd rather spend my fucking time thinking, not worrying about this team and the bullshit that it's doing right now that is meaningless, and worrying about it when it is meaningful. I'd rather right now just be like, whatever. I don't want this shit to ruin my day. It's not like the Jets, man. It's not like NFL football, where NFL football, one game will ruin your fucking week. Okay? Because that one game, you lose that shit and your season's done. And then now, you know what? Now you gotta watch every fucking Sunday knowing that your team is you're pretty much worthless. And none of this shit matters. And you don't even have a chance to get into the playoffs. That shit sucks. That sucks, man. Like when I was watching the Jets and it was at that point where it was like, why am I watching this? We're never gonna go anywhere. And then they started winning games and it's like, fuck, maybe now I'm invested fully. It's a lot of emotional output, bro, per week to put out with this team, dude. I mean, like, the last win against the Giants was so ugly. But I practically broke down crying because I felt like I was being tortured, dude. It felt like torture the whole game. And then, like, the release of, like, oh, my God, why would you do this to me? That's why so many people were angry with that game. So many people, so many Jet fans that watched that game, they were like, this is the worst game I've ever seen in my life. I have seen every Jet game 40 fucking years, bro. And I'm going to tell you, that was like one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy. But that shit was terrible. But then it ended in the most incredible fucking way, dude. I've never seen a Jet game end like that, bro. With like 3 fucking monster passes like that, dude. No, bro. We've never had a QB like that. That's why I'm like, at this point, we got to ride Wilson. We got to make Wilson play more. We got to put more responsibility on Wilson because there's something there. Aaron Rodgers gets healed up and he's ready to go. That's a beautiful story. You're the backup now, Aaron. You're backing up Wilson now. When Wilson gets hurt or whatever, and it's your shot to get back in the game, that's when you get back in the game. But until then, enjoy your healing factor, and you know what? When you're done and ready to go, enjoy being a backup. That's where I'm at right now. Do you know how insane that is? But I tell you, man, like, if Aaron Rodgers heals up and he's ready to go, I don't really trust Aaron Rodgers behind this offensive line. I don't trust for him not to get hit again and get hurt again. I completely and fully trust Zach Wilson to survive this offensive line because that's what he's doing. It's not about winning the other team. It's literally about surviving our own offensive line. Just survive our offensive line, get us some fucking points, get us enough points that we can get a lead so our defense can fucking wipe them out. And that's what's been happening. The Miami Heat have to, like, kind of subscribe to that same thing. You have to just write it out. You gonna tout defense so much? Well then, get the fucking lead and then use the fucking defense to keep the lead. But y'all don't want to work really hard with the defense because doing the defense is a lot of work. And it's really early in the season. So if you don't want to work really hard, well, then make your fucking threes. And you don't have to worry about anything ever again. But you guys don't even want to. One of the best three-point shooting teams 2 years ago. Now, just. That's why it's like, look, it's time. You should have fucking gotten rid of Duncan Robinson 2 years ago. Now you got to either decide keep him or let him go because we ain't getting rid of Hero. There's no way. Hero is a fucking star, bro. Motherfucker's not putting up 30 points a game. He's a star. Okay, we're surviving these games that we're losing because of Hero. Okay? We're not out here fucking like literally getting blown out by 50 or 60 points. You know, we're losing these games close. We're losing these games like how we are. But even then, we're still in it simply and only because Hero is out there killing it, bro. Killing it. Bam también. Bam is just out of this world. That's why it's so frustrating, bro, because it's really just Butler. If Butler would go in there and just put up 15 fucking points, bro, we would win these games. If Butler would go in there and put up 10 points, we'd probably win these games. But I really get the sense Butler doesn't want to break himself right now, bro. He doesn't want to be going to the line like crazy so early in the fucking season, dude. He just doesn't. Would you? Look at Bam, already hurt with a fucking hip injury, bro. And a hip bruise. And like, dude, those are the worst injuries, bro. Because these guys are so huge. And if that bruise is deep, he's going to have that shit all season long. All season long. It's gonna be why do you want that now? Like, I can understand why these guys are doing these things. I get it. I understand, but I know it's frustrating. But that's why I'm just like, don't waste your time killing yourself writing this team hard. Don't even waste your time. Don't waste your time. You can't treat NBA basketball like you treat NFL football. Not every game is like, as much as the media, which is a real big problem. The media is trying to make you believe that every game matters. I had reached this point with the NBA where I was even telling myself, dude, every game matters now, bro. Like, you have to win as many games as possible to get a good seeding so that you can get some home court advantage. That always becomes a big deal. And in the end, every time we face the fucking Celtics, we always fucking have to go over there for game 7. And that sucks. Why let's have game 7 here. And then you know what happened? We win and we were the number 1 seed and we had game 7 here. And you know what happened? Celtics beat us. After that, you know what? We don't give a shit about fucking having game 7 at home. We'll win game 7 wherever the fuck it's at. And you know what happened? Next season, we went over there for game 7 and beat their ass. It wasn't like, oh, we almost lost by a shot. No. We went over there and we beat their ass. That shit stays over there. Like a game 7 ass beating like that stays within the aura of that place. Like I say all the time, at some point in a 7-game series against Boston, the ghost of Jason Terry will show up. If the Heat are playing Boston in a 7-game series, at some point, the ghost of Jason Terry always shows up. And it's a guaranteed loss in Boston. Always. Now, I personally believe not only do you have the ghost of Jason Terry there, but you also have the ghost of Game 7. Game 7 in Boston is no longer this, like, guaranteed win, mystical fucking thing that, is unbeatable. You don't want Game 7 in Boston against the Heat, I'll tell you that much. I bet you anything, all those people would rather come down to Miami for Game 7. I bet you if you ask Boston fans, they'll be like, yeah, I think I'd rather go down to Miami for a Game 7 because I feel like we do better when we're on the road over there. Bet you anything. Let's go Game 7 over there. Wherever you want to do, let's go. I'd rather it. Get these guys out of here because I bet you these guys play better on the road. And that's it. That's our Heat Cultura for the day. Okay? No more yelling. I already did. We had 30 minutes. We had to do it short because we have to do another Heat Cultura after tonight's game. You know, I gotta get back on track, and I don't want to lose track of this. I don't want to be like falling behind or slacking or anything like that. I want to make sure that I still give you guys Heat Cultura, and then tonight will also be. It won't be sound only. Tonight will be video, and we'll be back to normal. Okay? I just had to do it this way because I wanted to make sure that I did this episode, and I didn't lose this. Okay? So that's it. So whatever, man. You know, don't freak out. If we lose tonight, don't freak out. I think really, I'll start worrying when we get to like 10 losses and 1 win. I'll start worrying then. Start worrying, not freak out. Start worrying. You don't think this team can win 5 games in a row, lose 1 more, win 5 games in a row, lose 1 more, win 5 games in a row, and lose another one, and then get back over 500? You don't think we can do that? If you don't think this team can be 1-10 and then win 5 in a row, lose a game, win 5 in a row, lose a game, and win 5 in a row again to win to go 15-3. Okay, so that we're 16-13. Like, you don't think that this team can go from 1-10 to 16-13 with this roster? I think we can. I think this team can do that. So that's why I'm giving them that much leeway. I'm giving them that much leeway because even if it's not 5 games in a row, I think it's 3 games, 1 loss, 3 games, one loss, 3 games, one loss. We can do that. And it'll take a longer time, but we'll catch up. We're not gonna be like 85-1 or whatever the fuck it is. We're gonna be like, win 45 games or something like that. 50 games. We'll go 50-50. I don't know, man. I just don't. I think we just need to win enough to get into the fucking playoffs. And we need to just keep our head down, play the games, write it out. Right now, these guys just got to wake up in the second half. If these guys put in the same kind of effort that they put to get the lead, to keep the lead, we're not having these conversations. This team is like one of the best teams in the league, supposedly, because we only lost once or some shit or whatever. Okay, so just step back from the fucking ledge, okay, and just chill. And just be like, yeah, whatever, they lost the game, who cares? Like, fully expect that this team will find the right lineup when he needs it. That Spo is going to eventually just stop playing Josh Richardson, stop playing Lowry, stop playing fucking Kevin Love as much, and start trying out the younger guys. Okay? Like, that's because that's what he needs to do. The sooner that he does, that he plays the younger guys mixed with the older guys, the sooner that all he's got to do is 3 guys. We are already starting 3 guys. Hero, Butler, and Bam. Who are you going to put around those 2 guys? Are you going to put Jovic out there? Are you going to put fucking Swider out there? Are you going to put fucking Waquez out there? You got to put guys around here. Robinson's out there. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, right? I'm going to say it again. Swider's going to take Robinson's job. You know it already. You know already. Swider will take Robinson's job. The moment that we start playing Swider and he starts hitting fucking threes, Duncan Robinson is gonna be done. And we're gonna be done. And heaven help Duncan Robinson if someone else on the roster shows up and hits threes better than he does. Okay, because I'm really tired of considering Duncan Robinson one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. He's not. He just shoots. He's a compiler. He shoots so many fucking threes that of course he's gonna fucking break the goddamn Heat record at some point. Think about how many threes this team was shooting like in recent years. It's only been since Ray Allen that we was like shooting more threes. But even now, in a time where the three is the thing to shoot, we still don't shoot enough threes. So I don't know. I don't know what happened that we went from the 1 year that we were number 1 to how we are now, where we're just a fucking disaster. And it's like, we have the same people. We have the same people. Max Strus is just, we have another version of Max Strus this year. Before Max Strus was there, it was Robinson. So it's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you, but whatever. We're going to have another Cultura now, so we'll talk more about it later, okay? So, Cultura, Cultura, however you say it, that's how you say it. Now and forever, I don't make the rules. I just make the rules. I am Studio Mogura, Studio M-O-G-U-R-A. Hit me up at the PayPal or the CashApp. Also, check out my book, Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. It is a chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s. And basically, a bunch of my adventures mixed into one adventure to show you how crazy things were back in the day here in Miami as a raver. Check out my comic shop, octotaco.com. It's also my blog. Check out my TeePublic shop. And then also check out my Spotify playlist, which has my entire discography from 1999 to 2023, including my latest release, The Reflection Blinds You from Seeing the Truth. Okay, so we're back here tonight after the game. I think it's after the Wizards or somebody. I don't know who it is. I think the tournament shit starts tonight. Que una mierda. Maybe the tournament thing turns these guys on, and maybe that gives them something to play for. I don't think so. I don't think Jimmy Butler is really going to give a fuck about an extra $1 million. The play-in tournament ultimately is probably going to be won by younger teams, younger guys that want bigger paychecks, that aren't getting a lot of money. They're going to want that shit. So you're going to have like the shittiest I imagine right now you're going to have the shittiest teams in the play-in game. The play-in tournament is not going to be like featuring the Celtics. It's not going to feature fucking, anybody like that. Like, it's just going to be, I don't know. Whatever it is, I really don't understand what it is. I don't know if it's like you play and you get knocked out of the tournament and then you don't play anymore for a little bit. Like, that doesn't make any sense in a regular season. So it feels like I think they're just gonna play their regular season schedule, and then at some point they're just gonna crown somebody because you've won enough games and during that period. And I think that's all it is. But that's just kind of ridiculous. So that's where I see that doesn't work, because you can't have a tournament like this and then not knock people out so that they don't play anymore. No, this is gonna be where you're not gonna have a bracket system. It doesn't seem like it's a bracket system. It seems like you just play your schedule, and then after a whole month, whoever has the best schedule in that month, that's who's going to be the winner. And you're just going to have all those games that you're playing in one location, which I think is why it's being done in that, which I think is shitty, because then you're taking away games from fans at home. And like, we already saw what's happening is they're trying to recreate the bubble. It's obvious that you're trying to recreate the bubble. And it's so funny that y'all talk so much shit about the bubble and how the bubble didn't matter, the bubble doesn't count, bubble's this, bubble that, bubble this, but now you want to bring the bubble back because you know what? You realize that the best basketball you ever saw in your entire fucking life was played in the bubble. Why? Because every single major fucking basketball player, the best of the best, was locked in a fucking room and told, don't think anything but basketball. And on top of that, their lives were at stake. Okay? They weren't fighting for money. They were fighting to stay in a space, because if you left that fucking space, you were put into a world where people were dying. Dying. The bubble was not a fucking basketball tournament just to win the Larry O'Brien trophy. It was a tournament to stay alive. Those people wanted to stay there because they knew it was the safest place on earth. That's why you got the best basketball you've ever seen in your life. You're not going to recreate that kind of basketball bubble style anywhere ever again. Ever. The only way is if the same shit happens. If there's something that's threatening our life, our fucking lives, yet we still need basketball entertainment somewhere. Which is wild when you think about it now. That during that time of COVID, people were fucking dying and we still thought we needed basketball. There you go. All right, we out. Sorry, hold on. Wait a minute. Where's this thing? I don't know what's going on. Yeah. All right, now we are out.